A boxer vowed to crucify the legendary Manny Pacquiao. Even his own wife laughed with disbelief when heard that.
I know he likes to quote Bible verses, so I'll let you know he's getting crucified.
It was a bold statement ahead of a clash that captured the attention of the entire globe. The world watched as this highly anticipated showdown unfolded. There was trash talk, cocky predictions, and even psychological games.
Pacquiao's a little fighter, so it's a big fight against a little guy, I believe I would have destroyed Manny Pacquiao 5 years ago.
Can you stop this man?
Of course, he's like this big, He's this big, my punch is this big.
But Pacquiao responded to all of it with his trademark warm smile. Later, he calmly stated that all questions would be answered in the ring, where there's no room for empty words.
Let my first talk in the ring.
On the line was the WBA Super World welterweight title, held at the time by Keith Thurman, a young, undefeated fighter hungry for greatness. For him, it was a chance to solidify his dominance in the division. For Pacquiao, it was yet another challenge, a chance to prove that age is just a number. At the time of the fight, Pacquiao was 40 years old. Thurman was 30. The age gap, the difference in pace and style, all seemed to favor the younger fighter. Thurman was faster, stronger, and more explosive, or so the analysts said. But as he had done many times before, the Filipino legend stepped into the ring ready to silence the doubters. From the opening bell, Pacquiao showed he was still dangerous. Not only was he holding his own, he was taking control. In the very first round, he dropped Thurman with a crisp shot that electrified the crowd. It stunned those who had written him off. Despite his age, Pacquiao was fast, sharp, and bursting with energy. Thurman didn't fold. He fought back with power, had his own moments, and pushed hard. But as the rounds passed, it became clear. Pacquiao's experience and composure were key. He picked his moments, avoided reckless exchanges, and prevented Thurman from finding a consistent rhythm. At one point, Manny landed a vicious body shot that visibly hurt Keith and forced him to retreat. After 12 hard-fought rounds, the judges awarded a split decision victory to Pacquiao. A Korean showman imagines himself to be the new Bruce Lee. With perfectly coiffed hair, deft hands, and a cheeky smile, he entered the ring with a legend. He made fun of Pacquiao. He said that Pacquiao is already an old man, that his time has passed. But behind those words, there was not only defiance, but also arrogance. Dokayu became famous in Korea for his staged videos about self-defense. He was chopping the air with his hands at such a speed that the cameras did not have time to record his movements. In his videos, he deflected knife attacks, disarmed opponents blindfolded, and sent the attackers flying with a single touch. In the comments, he was called a master, a legend, the new Bruce Lee. But it was all on YouTube, not in the real ring. There was no pain, there was no real pressure, there were no real rivals, only light, camera, and editing. One day, he didn't have enough likes and comments. He wanted real fame. And in pursuit of attention, he challenged the true legend of boxing, the Filipino lion Manny Pacquiao. Speed and pure fire. And so, under the flash of cameras, surrounded by a crowd, Dokayu entered the ring against a man who fought with real champions, rose from the very bottom, and became a champion in 8 weight categories. But the Korean didn't care. He thought he could play a hero in a real ring. The first minutes of the fight passed calmly. Pacquiao was learning. He was looking through it. I was testing how far this internet hero could go. And very quickly, everything became clear. This is an amateur. Yes, it's fast. Yes, technically on camera. But in the ring, it's equivalent to zero. Just the show. Just the appearance. Pacquiao, like a cat with a mouse, let him think he had a chance. He was putting on a show, playing. The fraudster was made to feel like a fighter, just as much as he needed. Pacquiao could have killed him at any moment, and everyone understood that. The Korean was already falling to his knees, but not from blows, but from fatigue, fear, and the realization that reality is not YouTube. But the old man taught him a lesson. He didn't finish. He didn't humiliate me. He was just showing class, letting his opponent drown in his own self-confidence. After 6 rounds of a one-sided fight, the result was declared a draw, only because Pacquiao gave him a chance to retire with dignity. In fact, the whole world saw one thing. A show is a show, but real legends don't play. They're hitting.